Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about an exit plan. Now, why would we have an exit plan if we're all excited about moving possibly or for sure to Albania? How do you know you're going to actually like living here long term? Maybe you're not. So I've talked to a lot of people, expats over in Thailand before we moved here, who put all their eggs in one basket. It's going to be Thailand or bust, only to get to Thailand and they found something wrong with it that they didn't like and wanted to go, but they burned bridges and they killed their finances, and there's really no good way for them to get back easily, and they were panic stricken, and it was just an awful scenario. So we're going to talk about developing the exit strategy. So a lot of people will move here to Albania. Maybe they've been here on a vacation and they had fantasized in their mind that it was going to be, every day was going to be as awesome as when they were here on vacation. Maybe they were up in the mountains somewhere beautiful in the summer, or they were here on the sea and it was just fantastic. It was a great vacation and they want to live like that for the rest of their lives, only to come here and realize that the daily grind still happens here. You're still going to need to go to the grocery store. You're still going to need to find all the things you need for daily life. And maybe you can't find things that you really want to have, and you can't do things that you really want to do. It never dawned on you that this might be a country that doesn't have all the things that you need to make yourself happy. Maybe Albania ends up being a place that you can't integrate socially here. Maybe you can't find people that you have anything in common with. Maybe you think the Albanians aren't as friendly to you as what you've been sold on. So there's a lot of reasons that can cause you to really doubt the choices you made. Now, I will say this: if you plan on moving here to Albania, don't just come here for a month and decide this just isn't for me. Give it some time. I would say at least give it 6 months, because there are some things that you're gonna have to get used to here. Things are gonna be different. This is a different country. They do things a different way. It might be strange to you, but after a while, they start making sense. And you do realize when people don't smile at you as much, they're still happy to see you in everything else. You just got to get to know them better as a person. I've got many stories where that has happened over and over and over again. And some people come over here and let's say something doesn't go their way, they feel like they got taken advantage of financially, really ticks them off, and they just want to leave. Give it some more time. Maybe you just hit some bad apples, but let me tell you, this can be a great place to live, but you gotta give it a chance and you gotta set your expectations right. But all that aside, let's talk about more of how you can protect yourself in case things don't work out and you need to revert back to another plan. First one is money. Don't sell everything, move over here and spend all your money furnishing your home to get all the things that you want: new motorcycles, new cars, even though that's what I did, but it's another story. All these expensive things that you want to get for your new life here right from the get-go, because if you don't like it, you got to get rid of this stuff, and you want to make sure that you do have money to go either to another country or back to your home country. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, don't spend all your money as soon as you get here. Make sure you set some aside. Figure out how much money would it take to allow you to go back to your home country and start your life over again. I can tell you, if you do something like that, you do put that money on the side, it will make your adjustment here in Albania a little bit better, because you know you've always got a backup plan. And last thing you want to do is burn your bridges back home as well. Tell your boss, screw you, I'm leaving, that's the end. Give everyone a middle finger and just burn, I don't know, whatever bridges you have. Don't suggest that. So make things to where you can easily go back to the life you once left. Again, you may never do it, but at least you'll have that peace of mind knowing that you could always go backward if needed. Also, research ways that you can cancel your visa and stop all the processes that you have started over here in Albania. So in other words, research all the things you do start up If we are going the other direction, how do I cancel my visa? How do I do this? How do I make sure you're able to figure out how you can easily and legally leave the country with everything good? So if you did want to come back at a later date back to Albania, say years later you decide to give it another try, you didn't burn or screw up things here in Albania because you didn't cancel something correctly. Now, when you move over here to Albania, I would suggest doing a shorter term lease. And what do I mean by short term? 6 months or a year. I would say you're safe even with a year as long as there's a clause in your rental contract where you could break the lease. Yeah, you're not going to get your deposit back, but hey, that's the cost of trying something new. It didn't work out, not too bad. So make sure that in your living arrangements that you make, that it's either a short enough term or it's something you could easily break the contract. Again, that's a good way to where if you had to leave in a pinch, you could do it. Now, don't forget your legal documents either. So you come over here with your legal documents, keep them in an accessible area where you have all the things that you possibly need. Because some people move over here, they got everything from their birth certificate, marriage certificates, you name it. You need to make sure you have that here with you in Albania. If you want to get residency and other things, make sure you keep track of that at all times so you do have that to get back to wherever it is you want to go from here. Now, if you do have a car, a motorcycle, and other big ticket items, you may want to research how you can liquidate those items quickly here in Albania, figure out how to either sell it yourself or maybe pay somebody else to sell it for you. There could be nightmares involved with that kind of thing, how to get a car out of your name legally. Don't just give it to somebody and there's no legal paperwork taking you off as the owner. All these nightmares that can happen. So you just never know is what this whole video is about. I want to make sure you've thought about an exit strategy before you move all the way over here and blame me and say, man, I listened to you. I moved over to Albania and now I hate it. My life's all messed up. So definitely work on an exit strategy. Hopefully you don't need to use it. And I'm telling you, you really got to give Albania a chance, or if you're moving to someplace like Thailand, anywhere you're moving in the world, you really need to give it some time. In Thailand, it took us a good 6 to 9 months to get used to it. Over in Thailand, we moved there during the COVID times. And here in Albania, it was relatively quick, but keep in mind, we didn't just move over here from the United States. We had already moved to a difficult, to figure out how things work, country like Thailand. So moving to another country where everything's different than what we're used to, we kind of knew what to do because it was the second time we've done it, made things a little bit easier. So I hope this was helpful for you in some way. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We'd love to have you. If you feel so inclined, buy us a coffee. There's a link down in the description, and we really appreciate it. And I'm going to end this video by saying thank you in Albanian, which is Faleminderit.